Hey guys, it's Beaver. So I've been meaning to get these two particular updates out. This one is really old, and I just didn't recall talking about it on the stream, even though we've been covering Braylen's case very heavily. Now, we knew that the charges were filed, but against grandmother and mom, but they went to court in October, and I just wanted to look at that a little bit closer, and also I wanted to go over Maliyah Bass, her case, and get her father's reaction to plea and, just kind of what his thoughts were about the DA. Now, if y'all recall, I have said, and I even, posed the question to Chris Thorns in the chat the other day, wonder what Octavius thought, and did the DA consult him, before they offered up this plea agreement in exchange for testimony. So I figured we could look at both of those, and so we're going to talk about Braylen first. So let's just take a listen now. This happened in October, and let's just take a look.
After he was reported missing, it took over a year for any charges to be filed in the case.
His mother and grandmother were indicted on charges from his death, connected to his death, October 28th. Mother charged with child endangerment and obstruction of justice. His grandmother charged with obstructing justice. The pair making their first appearance in court today.
And their attorneys are asking the judge to set the clients free for now based on their history. 13 ABC's Alexis Means is live with our continuing coverage of the case from court. Alexis.
Well, Diane Ellie, I can tell you that the lawyers representing these women are waiting to see the evidence in this case. The mother and grandmother of Braylen Noble walked into court surrounded by family. A man tried to block us from getting video and asking questions. Do you guys have anything to say before you go into court? Braylen's mother, Dejanay Cox, and his grandmother.
So I did know that the police, they were releasing a little information, hit or miss. I know we got the intake list of evidence. What else did we get? Let's see. We got the 911 phone call, which that one may have been, Freedom of Information Act. I'll have to go back and look. There was some evidence, early on. It took a while, like they said, almost a year before, charges were filed. But there was a lot, at least in the public opinion, my opinion more directly. There was a lot of circumstantial evidence. And if nothing ever made sense. I mean, it was obvious that he was moved, and there was just a lot. So let's just finish listening.
Mother Bobby Johnson pled not guilty to charges.
Say really quickly, speaking of mom, how could we forget, her one and only camera interview to where she's talking to the reporter, and then she gets she wants to be prompted, oh, we're live. And then you see her wash into actress mode. I mean, this case is so infuriating.
Stemming from the 3-year-old's death. Cox is charged with child endangering and obstruction. Johnson is facing an obstruction charge. The grandmother's lawyer told me he hasn't seen the evidence in the case.
Well, there's a lot of different ways you can obstruct. That's part of the discovery process. We'll figure out what those allegations are, whether it is impeding an investigation, lying to other investigators. It could be a lot of things. We're just going to figure that out as we move.
It's definitely some lying and some misconstruing. And I would say some obstructing. I would definitely agree with that, particularly pertaining to his body.
Move along in the process, but as we have stated, we believe Bobby and her daughter has been truthful this entire time.
In September of last year, 3-year-old Braylen Noble went missing. A 911 call from the grandmother claimed the 3-year-old boy who has autism fell out of a window at Hunters Ridge Apartments.
You think he's hurt? I'm hoping he's okay, but we don't know where he is. Did you guys go back by the creek and look by the creek anywhere? Yes, we went all back there by the pool area, the swing area, all of that, and on the back end on the other side.
No signs of the little boy who was nonverbal. Search parties were formed. Firefighters used divers to search the swimming pool.
I just remembered something else awful from that. There was a drone operator that lived inside the apartment complex, and they actually flew a drone underneath the pool. And it showed little Braylen's body when they pulled him out of the drain. I mean, just freaking awful, man. This whole case is infuriating.
They didn't find the young boy. They asked for the pool to be drained. Still nothing. For 5 days, hundreds of people looked for Braylen. Firefighters went back to the pool again. This time, the little boy was in the pool. The coroner was unable to find the cause of death. The attorney says Bobby Johnson is emotional.
Very upset. Like I said, she's still grieving, as is the majority of the family.
The judge ordered the women to be booked.
Let me just say, she's probably extremely emotional now because she knows she's going to prison. Knowing your freedom is about to be snatched from you, it tends to play a little bit on your emotions. I mean, yeah, I bet she is more emotional now. I bet she is. But I've also seen her wash into actress mode. It's on camera. I mean, it's on camera. In fact, let me show you what I'm talking about.
You're not doing like asking questions thing, right?
You can tell me whatever. If you don't want me to ask you questions, I am just going to ask you to say and spell your first and last name, though. I do, because I don't want to get that wrong, of course.
All right. Okay. It's been 4 days since my son has been missing, and I just want whoever to have him, please take him somewhere safe. I know he's scared, and I know he's crying, and he has stomach pains, and he's not eating. He's a picky eater. So if you want to just drop him off somewhere, please drop him off to the police station. You can drop him off here and call my phone. I know he's crying. I know you can't get him to stop crying. He's being picky. He's not eating. And if he's scared, I won't be mad. Please just drop him off to me. I just want him home. That's it.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you for doing that. I will put that out. And then Dejanette, correct? D-A-J-A-N-E? Cox?
D-A-J-N-A-E, Cox.
Okay. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd want to say? Okay, thank you.
Lawyers argued the mother and grandmother have no criminal history and they would show up for future court appearances. Dejanay and Bobby, do you guys want to say anything before you go down? Do you want to say anything?
Hey, I'm editing right now. I just wanted to say that when they went to court in December, it was rescheduled. So this is in reference to Maliyah Bass. The other day, you know, we were discussing the new plea, the guilty plea, and the exchange in testimony for Sahara Irvin to testify against Travion Thompson. So I was wondering, you know, a lot of times the DA will go to the family members and ask them what they think. You know, well, my first thought was Octavius, Maliyah's biological father. He's been vocal. Please go sub up to Chris Thorne's and check out his work and coverage of the Maliyah Bass. He's spoken with Octavius several times. And from my understanding, he still speaks with him. But Octavius did do a news interview. So this is what we're doing now. Now, this is old. I would say maybe a week and a half, something like that. But nonetheless, I wanted to, you know, put it on the channel. So let's just see what Octavius thinks about all this.
Whose body was found in Bray's Bayou back in 2020. This was a heartbreaking case. The girl's mother and the mother's boyfriend initially claimed Maliyah had been kidnapped. But tonight, Sahara Irvin, seen here smiling in her mugshot, has pleaded guilty for her role in her daughter's death. Zach Tawatari has new developments tonight, including reaction from Maliyah's father. Zach.
21-year-old Sahara Irvin pled guilty in court today for 2 charges in connection with Maliyah's death. Prosecutors asked for a lighter sentence in exchange for testimony against her boyfriend, who's also charged in the case. Maliyah's biological father continues to hope for justice and answers.
Right now, I just want to bust out crying, but I'm trying not to.
Octavius Bass.
And like I said, I have watched this. To me, it still seems like they did not converse with him about what he thought. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but the way he sounds to me in this interview was uninformed. Still wants answers, you know, and he's going to say it here in a second. One of y'all did it. 100%. One of y'all did it. You know, we just need the truth.
Bass is still trying to come to grips.
Just thinking about it makes me sad.
With the tragic death of his 2-year-old daughter, little Maliyah Bass, whose body was found in Bray's Bayou in August of 2020.
It makes me feel alone that she's not here.
At the time, Bass's mother, Sahara Irvin, and boyfriend, Travion Thompson, appeared inconsolable, saying they had just left her for a few minutes at the apartment complex playground. But a few months later, both were arrested in connection with her death.
Just say, who the hell smiles in their mugshot like that? I hope she's getting the help she needs, because get real. And here's the reality. If these two charges, they run together, 20 years apiece, I'm sure they've worked out something. She'll be out when she's my age. She's young. So, or a little bit older than me. This is insane. I'm just gonna shut up. But it's beyond frustrating that this is our best option. No, charge them both the damn same. Charge them both the same.
Then a year later, court documents show that Irvin pleaded guilty to 2 charges: injury to a child and tampering with a corpse, each carrying a 20-year sentence.
I don't have no choice but to be okay with it, because they say that's the maximum that she can get.
Bass says that's part of the deal. Irvin agreeing to testify against Thompson, who's also...
That's awful. I mean, that's completely awful. He don't have a say in it. I mean, these charges, they're not, man, I just think it's sad. My heart, I've always felt so bad for Octavius. He had a job. He had, he had everything going. He would have been a perfect place for Maliyah.
Tell the truth.
As he looks forward, he says he still has yet to get the full story, and that, he believes, is the only way he'll find any closure.
Because all I want to know is the truth